Oatmeal cream pie cookies are the best. And because they're the best, we're going to talk about the best Flesh and Blood set, Heavy Hitters. I have 6 packs, and we're going to make a sealed pool to show you my thought process on how I approached the pre-release. Stay tuned for all that and more right now. The sealed pool involves the 6 packs that you'll be given at a pre-release event. And in the case of Heavy Hitters, you also received a token pack alongside this, which contained 1 promo cold foil card and several tokens that also encompassed tokens that are commonly used in a set, and 1 of each hero. As we begin to look through the packs, the first step I tend to approach is dividing based on class. Guardian, Warrior, Brute, and so forth. Now you'll run into cards that are dual class, and for now I'm going to put all dual class cards in a stack so that I can come back to them later. Equipment we'll hold off to the side, generics as well, and any higher tier cards, and then our tokens will stick off to the side. So our foil, in this case, if I was sorting for collection's sake, I'd be putting this in a separate pile, but since we're building, we're going to be putting it in the same. We did get a Majestic Reckless Charge, which is a KO specialization, which does lend itself good to making this feel like maybe a KO pool would be useful. Alright. Guardian, Warrior, Brute, Guardian, multi-class, multi-class, multi-class. Multi-class. Guardian, tokens. Now, at an event, if you were to not have something that is required to play, such as a token, those will typically be provided for you. So there's not a huge amount of worry. We got a foil, in this case, dual class. We got dual class and a warrior card. Alright. What's nice about Heavy Hitters is there's enough flexibility in each of the classes. This is the non-foil version of the promo you will get. That there's enough flexibility in each class that I don't feel like every game... Oh, you got a full-size token here. That's actually pretty hard to find. And then you get these cute little guys, which are the Bend. Listen to that. Oh. There you go. That's what it sounds like when you break them apart. You get enough to be able to really go in several directions. You're not really, forcing one particular hero or class. Although I'm sure there are reasons to pick one over the other. Obviously, it is a pool of cards, meaning that there can be a lean toward one particular side or another. Tokens. No adult Majestics, no special Evo cards. Alright. Guardian, this is the last pack. So this would be the last in the 6. You would have between, I've seen it between 30 minutes and an hour. I think an hour is a little long. But for a new player, it makes sense why you would need that time to maybe address and look at some of the cards. So that makes sense. Alright, let's just see what tokens we actually ended up getting. So don't care about those. Alright, let's look at weapons versus heroes. So did we get... Alright, we got the suite, actually. We have... the Guardian heroes, we got the Brute heroes, and we got the Warrior heroes. Now, even if we didn't have these here, we'd be able to get from our tokens. But token weapon-wise, Hammer Time, Claws. So we got 3 High Risers, 2 Mandible Claws, a bunch of Centauris, and Mandibles. So we got a myriad of different available tokens. We lucked into 3 of the breakaway tokens and 1 of the big gold honker tokens. Alright. I like to begin looking at how I design things based on my equipment. Now, also, specialization cards play a huge role. So let's begin to take a look at what we have. We have a head, a legs, an arms, a chest, a head, a legs, a chest, a legs, and an arms. All right. So, if I remember right, the only Majestic we pulled was a KO Specialization Brute Majestic. Do I have any other Majestics? No Majestics there. No Majestics there. Any Majestics in the... Nope, no Majestics there. And no Majestics there. Now, if you hit a cold foil or a legendary in the back slot, they actually can't be used in this format, so don't worry too much about that. But let's say we want to lean toward maybe a KO build just to see what options we have. Our heads, we have both of them as generic. We did luck into getting a Brute legs. We have a Brute arms. We do not have a Brute chest. So for either build, if we went with a Brute, we only have a Guardian or a Warrior. So let's first assess where we stand with maybe a card pool. 30 cards is the minimum, and you can go, I believe it's to 40 is the maximum. Maybe there might not be a maximum. I think 40 is the maximum. But let's take a gander. We got Headliner and Glory Seeker. This is Riddler Man's promo card, or spoiler reveal. And then this one here, Headliner, is equal to defense. Now this card triggers on and off throughout the game. Just keep that in mind. Your health has to be greater than you. Their health has to be greater than you. It can't be equal, it has to be greater. So if it's 1-to-1, it's 2-to-2, does nothing. If they're at 3 and you're at 2, it turns on. So there are some scenarios where you can't block with it, turn 1, take a damage, knowing that you're going to take that 1 damage to turn this on, to turn that in and block it. So there's some thought processes with that. We have Guardian legs, a generic legs, and then we have a Brute. So this only can defend if they have an agility token, but it is a 2 defense. So there's some situational 2 defense cards in this set I've seen. And then same here, you have Gauntlet of Might, and you have Ticket Puncher, which is depends on your opponent's health. Now in the dual slot cards, we got a bunch of dual slots. So let's just take a look at some of the other piles of cards here, and I'll walk you through my thought process. So let's take the dual class cards, and we're going to make piles based on dual class capable cards here. We are heavily getting into Guardian and Brute. Alright, so you'll notice that there's a side that has Brutes, side that has Guardian, and then if you flip them upside down, you'll see you have swords on this one, so there's only one cut of this one. And then on this side, you have Guardian and Sword, so you have Guardian and Warrior. So we're going to divide. These are the 3 piles that split the representation between the classes. So you can see that there are 2 swords represented, there are 2 brutes represented, and 2 guardians represented. So in a kind of a trifecta, you have them to where it can't really overlay them, but like you kind of have this effect going on if you put that upside down. So they all have their kind of cross specializations. Well, we originally talked about Brute, so let's take a quick gander at the Brute cards. We have Clash of Agility, Take It on the Chin. We got a bunch of wages. Wages are good, especially, the high power one. So KO has the hero ability that wants me to discard. Action cards will get +1, and then if I've discarded a 6 or more, you get a might token. So cards that are greater than 6, or in this case the 5s, which also have the +1 due to KO's ability, would count toward the getting a might token if they've been discarded. This gives me access to a wager. Now these cost 3, so they're pretty salty to play out. But if we were to say, okay, let's just take this pile of cards and let's look at this. Now obviously we can't run these if we're doing that, and we can't run the Guardian Warrior. So let's just see, do we even have a pool of 30 to begin with for this? So we have Mighty Wind Up, Lead with Power, Wind Up, Wind Up, Wind Up, Power. We got Mighty. Okay. So we only got 1 Rising Power. If you've drawn a card, it gets +1. Now that is a 6. But all these Mighties here, every single one of these Mighties counts toward the KO. Lead with Power is a great intro card to put out to give some bonuses. I did not see a red one in this stack, so that kind of stinks, but typically they're really, really strong. Wage Might, we have, when this attacks a hero, you may wager a Might token. It does cost 3, but it's a blue pitch 3, and it would trigger off of the discard. So let's look at the KO specialization. Roll 6-sided dice, gain action points equal to half number rolled down if you rolled a 6 draw. So I mean, that makes a lot of sense to try to throw that in the deck. Let's see what we got. We got, we'll divide this into attacks and non-attacks. Cards that have non-attacks. We got Smashback and Bone Breaker Bellow. Create an Agility or Might. Now this is a 0 blue, meaning that it can defend, it can pitch for 3, it costs 0 to play, it has automatic go again and create something. That sounds like a solid card to throw in the deck. Now these here have Beat Chest, which we would want to, basically discard a card with 6, which is anything else in the deck. But these do have defense of 3, so they're not dead block, so that's kind of nice. Let's look at the attacks in here. Now, do we have any of the ones that don't block? Because there's a trade off with the ones that don't block. So let's talk about these. We have Bear Fangs. We got a combo, a 3-pack of those, 1 of each pitch, and Wild Ride. Now, this Bear Fang and this Wild Ride would not trigger off of the KO discard for 6, but they are blues, so we're going to I'm going to put them down here as a maybe. The problem with running too many of these is that if you get a grip a hand where you just have these, it's pretty much take everything to the face, because these can't even block. There's no block with them, but they are great comeback cards. So if I take a gander, let's take a look. We got Pound Town, Rawhide Rumble, several assault batters. We got 2 of the red ones here. That's great. If you beat Chest, create an Agility. Now again, these cost a lot, so you got to kind of throw these blue pitches in there, which is where these might come in. So let's see what our total pool is for every for every brute card. And then we have a stack of generics we haven't even tapped yet. So let's see where we sit with these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 22, 24. We have 29. And if we add these, 30. They're 1 through 2, 3 through 4, 5, 6, 7 through 8, 9, 40. We have a total of 41 if we put every generic in. Now, obviously, that may not be a great idea. But let's say I look at the generics now. So we got a target attack, it's +1. This is a blue. It's a reaction. It won't trigger for a discard. May not be a good choice in this deck. What 6s and higher do we have? We got 1. We got Wage Gold. So let's throw that in. That would be possibly our 30. Now let's take a gander at some of these other cards here. We got Money Where Your Mouth Is. We got a couple of those. We got Trade-ins. We got Trade-ins. We got Adrenaline Rush, Performance Bonus. Now, if you control no gold, create a gold. It's not bad. This, we're probably not going to want to run in a KO deck. Similar with these, I don't know if this was from Arsenal Gets Go Again. I don't see that being something I'm going to want to stick in my arsenal with this build, because it doesn't help me in the other attributes that I'm looking for. Trade-in, same thing if it's Arsenal Gets Go Again, but when this attacks, you may discard a card if I do draw a card. These I think would be great because then I can cycle through and trigger the might tokens. Now, Money Where Your Mouth is interesting because the next attack gets +2, and if this attack hits a hero, wager. So it does cost 1 to play. It has Go Again. This is going to take up space in the deck, and it will not trigger any of my discards. So I'm going to put them to the side for now. And then if you play this, if you have less life than your opponent, it gets +3. Now, we're going to be playing probably a pretty aggressive run, so I'm going to say that those are not going to be as useful. So let's take a gander at what we have now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Now, I would say I'd run exactly 30, but I did realize in the middle of us playing at our pre-release that it did get to the point, probably more often than not, where it actually came down to fatigue time, and having exactly 30 cards was kind of a problem for me. So I'd say let's leave that at 32. Let's pick, we can't use the Guardian Warrior chest. We're going to pick a generic arms. We'll pick the Brute specific arms, Brute specific legs, and then between the head, it's Riddler Man or Bust. I like the let's get a card because I think drawing is going to be better in this scenario. So this would be, on the surface, the build I would run, and some of my thought processes on why I chose to run this stack of cards running KO. Now, let's look at this and see, is there any good quality build with maybe a warrior? Because we know those are dual class over there, but these and these, can we even get anywhere close to making a warrior build? You'll notice that all of these cards don't have attack values. They do have defense values. 2s, 3s, 2s and 3s. Warrior plays totally different. So if you look at Kasai and Olympia, Olympia is first time each of your golds wins, create a wager. Or, I'm sorry, the first time each of your attacks wins, wager, and then create a gold. So, let's see here. We got next attack gets +3, go again. If you wager, gets +3, gets +2, +2. So, a lot of these are going to be, that's attack, reaction, 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 attack, reaction. So we have a lot of attack reactions, which is kind of nice. So that means that we can surprise our opponent on some of the attack reactions. What about in here? We got some wages, 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 wages. We got slap happy. That's a prevent damage. I mean, it is interesting, but it gives you a vigor. Now, vigor is nice because vigor gives you resources. So it's kind of like a way to flip a turn backwards. It is 0, but it's an instant. It does take up a card, so you kind of have to balance that out. I am not the best at warrior. I like this card. I think I would... I mean, these are all guardians. None of those could work. Generic-wise, I don't know if Money Where Your Mouth Is would probably be good in this build. He wants gold, so performance bonus. This would, those would probably be, and that's attack reaction. So I would say I would use this as the core. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So are these all? That's our warrior. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 28. Now, what could I, if I were to not build this deck, things that could go over would be those 3 cards. Guardian, 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 Guardian. So you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 options with those. Okay. So my pool could be expanded by these cards here. Wage Agility would be great. Clash of Agility would be great. Trade in Wage, so like those would be options. Because we're not doing that. Guardians, these cards couldn't be a part of it. Equipment wise, we do have a warrior chest that we'd be able to throw in. That's Guardian legs only. Generic legs would be the legs we would choose. That's the arm slot, head slot. Yeah, so I mean, I could see me trying either one of those. I think that one may be a better choice. Because honestly, I'm more inclined to look at the KO specialization giving me a huge turn of opportunity. I think KO would be my final pick for what I would do, but I also could very much go Olympia in this pool. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of, things that you may or may not agree with on how I came to those conclusions, and that's fine. So if you don't agree with my conclusions, make a comment down in the comment section below and tell me what you think I might have left out or how you would have approached the situation differently. Alrighty then, folks, that's an example of how to build a sealed pool. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Like I said, if you got any thoughts, comments, concerns, put them in the comment section below. How would you have built that with that pool? Anything you'd have changed? Until next time, may your games be fun and your friendships grow. Cheers, and enjoy all the Heavy Hitters has to offer. From UPF to sealed to draft, it'll be exciting. I'm going to eat a cookie, because I deserve a cookie.
Your captain.